Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today, we're looking at 3 more Atlantean slash MERMAIL cards. This is uncharted territory, it feels like. Feels like Konami does not normally do this. Atlantean and MERMAIL is an archetype that got like 5 new cards, I think, in the last core set, and that was support. Konami will give archetypes multiple support and multiple core sets when they're new, and they go, here's a couple cards here, here's a couple cards there, and they try to like round out archetypes and extend on lore and stuff. They do not usually do that with support. They don't just take a random archetype, give it support in one set, and then also in the next core set as well. So this is a little bit weird, but really cool because we were wondering, like, with the new cards, like, they were cool, but we were really curious if we were going to see a new Poseidra version, and we do. Really cool. So you have a main deck monster, a new rank 7, and a new trap card. So let's see, because the archetype's already more interesting. I don't think it's fully there competitively, but if these cards help the deck go second, it may make the deck crazy, because that's really, to me, the one thing that keeps MERMAILs from like really truly competing on like the highest levels. Like, the engine's just not really built to go second, and it struggles with that. So here we go. Poseidra, the Rumbling Atlantean. It's a water sea serpent effect monster, level 7, 2816. I think those are the same stats as normal Poseidra. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name, each once per turn. You can send one other water monster from your hand or face of field to the graveyard to special summon this card from the hand. Okay, that's already really good. That's a solid level 7 extender. That really gets this card like in rotation really easily. It's going to trigger some of the other water monster effects when they're discarded, which is a really big deal. You want to open like your water monsters that discard and monsters that trigger when they're discarded in hands. Really cool. Really easy summoning condition. Nice. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can send one Atlantean or MERMAIL monster from your deck to the graveyard, then target one card your opponent controls as cost. Return it to the hand. Holy, this might be enough. Not enough, but this might be a huge help in allowing the deck to go second. This is like an exact kind of going second card they kind of needed. Because, right, you're allowed to, even if you don't open it with a good discard fodder, right? You don't open it with Dragoons, you don't open with one of the good ones that's triggering when you discard it. Just discarding something to summon him, any water, even if it's dead, right? Summon this, then on summon, you get to, as cost, dump a water, which is Dragoons. And now Dragoons is searching you for Deep Sea Diva, whatever, like 1-card combo via normal summon, right? Something like that. And if they don't negate it, you're also just bouncing something. And he's a 2800 body. Ooh, this card is kind of spicy, dude. Alright, and the last effect, your opponent's monsters cannot target this card for attacks while you control a monster other than him. That's not a huge deal. I don't think that really matters that much, actually, at all. I think that's just kind of flavor text more than anything to talk back to the old, or, mention back to the old Poseidra. That's a really good card. Also, one more thing to keep in mind. If we have a way to quick effect special summon him on the opponent's turn, he's literally going to send, you could send a marksman, or is it heavy infantry, whichever one pops face ups. And then literally, like, on the opponent's turn, you're going, like, bounce a card, pop a card. That's really cool. This card's really good. It's a really good... This is a starter. This is just a starter for the deck, right? Because him plus any water in hand should play. Like, should start a play for you. Wow. Really, really good. Okay, next up here we have... I'm glad they did it, right? Because if they're going to make a new Poseidra, they either need to make it a really good boss monster the deck's going to use consistently, or just a really good engine piece, and I'm glad they made it good, because now, like, Poseidra's finally good in the deck. It's really cool. Alright, next up we have Abystrite, the Atlantean Spirit. It's a water sea serpent Exceed effect monster. It's a rank 7, so we did get the other, I think, rank 7 in the last core set support, but the difference there was, like, he took 3 monsters. Otherwise, you had to, like, you could overlay him, like, on top of like a Atlantean Exceed or something. You can cheat him out. I don't remember the exact way you do it, but you can cheat him out. All right. But let's take a look at this. Okay, first and third effects are hard once per turn. It takes any 2 level 7 water, so it's not completely generic, which is important to note. If this card is Exceed summoned, you can target one level 7 or lower fish, sea serpent, or aqua monster in your graveyard to special summon it. Okay, just gets you one back on summon. It doesn't detach to do that, which is a little bit weird. Not weird, but like it's, you know what I mean? It's like, it summons something back, but like it's not, you can't make it with materials and then summon back one of the materials. Which is interesting. That's interesting to know. Side effect, water monsters you control gain 3 inner attack for each material attached to this card. That includes itself, so it should at least be getting itself up to 27. And then buffing everything else, that's like, I assume to be the little baby bonus effect. And lastly, you can detach one material from this card to set one Abyss Trap from your deck. I'm assuming this trap card we're getting here is a new Abyss Trap as well. I've not read it. I don't think many of the other Abyss cards are that good. I mean, I guess like I just mentioned with Poseidra up above, isn't one of them kind of like a Call of the Haunted? I think Abyss Sphere is like a Call of the Haunted. I can't even remember exactly how it works, but if it quick reborns that card, that may make it interesting enough that you can just, you know what I mean, set the trap, and then reborn this guy on the opponent's turn. That could be good enough. We'll see. And okay, we'll see. I don't know if any of the other ones that already exist work, but we'll see if this one's good enough as well. Because this is not the kind of card you really want to be adding to your deck, but we'll see. A trap card. All right, Abyss Team. So this is a normal trap card. I like this artwork. It has Teus, and I think this is this the vanilla guy? I think this is the vanilla guy with the spear, and this is Mermail, Abyss, not Pike, Turge, I think. Yeah. All right, normal trap. You can only use both of its effects once per turn. Draw cards equal to the number of different types among fish, sea serpent, and aqua monsters you control. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck until the end of your next turn after this card resolves, except water monsters. I don't think it's good enough, I don't think. Second effect, if a face-up water monster you control is destroyed by a battle or card effect while this card's in your graveyard, you can banish this card to add a Mermail from your graveyard or banish to your hand. Not even a great float effect, to be honest. Once it's in grave, your opponent's going to know it's there, so they're probably going to they can play around this pretty easily with SP Little Knight, banish something, you know what I mean? Just non-destruction removal to try and handle the board if they already have control of the board state. I don't think that's really doing that much. The draw is like fine, but again, this is the kind of card where like if you don't go full combo, this card gets worse and worse. Like I would prefer an Icarus attack, to be honest, because at least like if you get nothing but just like put one water like if you say, for example, if we just like put her on the field, get the trap, and then whatever else we do gets stopped and like we end on her, at least it means you still have the, you know what I mean, the pop 2, and that actually be something. Whereas this card gives you diminishing returns on on depending on how far you actually got in your combo. If you didn't get all the way there, this card got worse. It became a draw 2, and I'm just saying a draw 2 that it has to wait a turn is not playable in Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't think, in modern day Yu-Gi-Oh! At least. Unless it's like continuous and the deck can grind, but that's not really I don't think this is the kind of deck that wants to mess around with that. So, interesting card. I think this card is interesting. I do think it's worth noting that like, a lot of what the deck wants to do is like, you can climb up into her, she reborns one of your guys from grave, then I think you can use her for the material of, I think you can use her for the full material for the other guy. Let me see real quick here. What do we want here? What is Hold on. We'll get it here. I want to see exactly the summoning conditions and what he does. This guy. The Exceed, yeah, Poseidra Abyss. So we did get an extract version, but we didn't get a new main deck version. But let's see what he does. So he says you can also Exceed summon this card by using one Atlantean or Mermail Exceed. So you can just straight up go right into her with this card, or go into this guy off of her. Once per turn, you can detach 2 materials, then send 1 monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard to return up to 3 cards your opponent controls to the hand. Okay, so she kind of like does help you like get into this guy, who kind of helps you play into something going second, but not amazing. But I think the bigger thing is if this Exceed Summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can discard a card to special summon 3 level 3 or lower fish, sea serpent, or aqua monsters from hand or grave. So the idea is, I think you can just make her get a body back, then use her effect to get a trap for free, basically, and then you overlay into him. You already have a second body, so if you just link him off from there, I think the idea is you want to get up into the link 3 that the archetype has, but I think from there you could just make Coral an enemy, reborn another guy, and I think that can get you into... I think you can use Coral to make the link 3, and then from there, also, if when you link off the Poseidra should hopefully, if you have enough materials, be reborning 3 more monsters, and then you get into more stuff. So the idea is, I think she's kind of like a stopgap on the way. She's kind of like an Exceed/Link climb card, and just in terms of value, right? You take 2 bodies, you turn those 2 bodies into 2 more bodies and the trap for free, and then you go into like the rest of the play. Other than that, it is another rank 7 that like kind of does a little bit more going second, I guess, just being able to reborn something, and then just immediately overlay for the guy. I don't know if it's actually better, but sure. But she's interesting. I think like if you want to play the trap, she could potentially increase the output, the overall value of your turn 1 combo, but she doesn't overall impress me. She could be a 1 of in the extra. This card to me is crazy. I think this card's a 3 of in the deck. That's a really, really important. He's going to be uber searchable. He's going to help you play into boards going second. He's like Vashuda if Vashuda like actually turned on your engine at the exact same time. That's like what he is. Except even better, right? He's a bigger, more offensive body at 2800 attack. He gets your engine started by dumping a Mermail or Atlantean from deck on summon. And the only downside is he takes an extra card from hand to discard. But the deck, if you're discarding something that pops off when you do it, it's better than just you having Vashuda anyway, right? So this is like a much more evolved, power crept version of Vashuda in a much more accessible way. So I really like it. I think this card's incredible. I think this card is an interesting one. If there's a trap worth playing, maybe it's a 1 of. And then I don't think this card's going to see the light of day. And it's trap, it's modern day. It has to be a pretty crazy trap to see play in modern day, but it is what it is. So very, very cool stuff. I am by no means a Atlantean/Mermail connoisseur. I've looked into them a little bit in the past because I thought they were interesting, just to learn that the deck is absolutely horrifying going first, and you never want to lose the die roll to this deck. Maybe this card actually allows them to be a little bit spicier, a little bit harder to handle when they go second, and that's exactly what the deck needs, because it really struggles going second in a lot of ways. So it makes it hard for them to consistently have good results in tournaments, because they're going to have to go second half the time. So, but yeah, that's really cool. Let me know your thoughts down below. Like I said, I'm not a connoisseur, so if you know this deck pretty in depth, please let me know extra interactions or utility of some of these cards if I didn't mention them here. But I'm also out of here for today, keeping you updated on all things Yu-Gi-Oh! News related. Supreme Darkness coming down the track here. This looks like it's going to be a pretty heavy reveal week for Suda. So I'm expecting cards tomorrow, Thursday, maybe even Friday as well. So stay tuned for that and into the next couple weeks as well. And I'll bring you anything that drops. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Peace.